Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Happy Sanctuary Homestead. And it's really early in the morning, and I'm about to go to work. But I have some stuff to go in the compost bin that I got yesterday. So I wanted to bring it in and get it in the compost bin and spin the compost bin and just check on the garden before I go to work. So I was researching how to have a full-time job and homestead. And so there'll be early mornings, very early mornings, and late evenings because, I have to have a full-time job. I'm going to work probably at the beginning of our journey. I'll be still working a full-time job. So this is me preparing myself for that journey, to come out, check on the garden, do what needs to be done, whatever I can do early morning, and then come back in the evening. Except for I don't need to come back in the evening right now because there's nothing going on in the garden that requires me to come back in the evening. But yeah, it's all learning and training and preparing for when we have our land and our space and all the things. I also did some research about the compost and what can go in the compost. And there's at work we do a lot of shredding documents, and so I researched, and I can bring those shreds here and put them in the compost, and it'll help our compost grow. And then the other thing that will help the compost grow, or that I can put in the compost, is we have a food pantry where there's a lot of fruits and vegetables, and sometimes the students don't take the vegetables. I'm spinning the compost now. Sometimes the students don't really take all the vegetables. They're, young students, but they don't eat all the vegetables and the fruit. So instead of throwing that stuff in the trash, when I'm there, I can grab it and take it and put it in our compost bin to help, our garden. And I talked to my co-worker who runs the pantry, because I volunteer there, and I asked her, was that okay? And she's like, absolutely. So it doesn't go to waste. It doesn't go in the landfill or the dump. It'll go in your garden. And she's really supportive of me and my garden and my dream of owning land and having a compost, having a homestead and all those things. So yeah, that's what we were here doing. So that part is done. Oh, I'm all way in the camera. Sorry, y'all. That part is done. The other thing that I am going to show y'all is I researched what that leaf was that's over here in the garden, and it is not edible. It's not a seed that, well, it kind of is a seed, but it's kind of like a weed that has a flower in it, and we have those things around here. So I guess when I wasn't using the space, it kind of took over that part. So I'm gonna pull those up and out, so it won't again take over the garden bed. I think I have some mushrooms growing over there now that I'm looking over there, which is wild. So I am going to go and take care of that, and then I'm head to work. Yeah, there goes some mushrooms growing right where the onion is growing. So that is very interesting. So yeah, I did the research. These are their vines. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those out of here because they're not seeds, they're vines. And I don't want that to grow in the garden because we want edible food in here. So I'm not going to do all of this today, but I will come in and kind of weed next time I'm here, because I do need to get to work. And I will get caught up doing this if I stay here. As you can see, I'm still going when I say I need to get to work. Okay. Alright, so, yeah. But those I need to pull out. And then this whole row, I'm sorry, let me edge you out a little bit. We need to make a decision on what to put in this whole area, because that's where we had the cucumbers, and if you remember, the cucumbers died. So we need to make a decision about what to put in this area. Yeah. So I'm gonna go get in the car, and I'll check back with you in a moment. I made it to work. I just, wanted to come in and share some of my thoughts. Being there early in the morning really made me realize how much I miss when I used to get up early in the morning and make myself a cup of coffee. I have my coffee, mind you. I have my coffee here. I used to make myself a cup of coffee, a mug, and go outside and just sit out there in the garden. I would do some things, of course, but even if there was nothing to do, I would just go out there and sit. And I remember how much I loved that and how peaceful it was to start my day like that. And being out there this morning, I left out a little earlier than I normally leave out to get to work. And I got there, and that same peace of being in the garden, even though I was doing something and I knew I had to go to work, that same peace sat on me, and I realized how much I miss that peace. So I am looking forward to I'm looking forward to that on this journey. On this journey, I am looking forward to the moment where I have the backyard again, and I have the garden, and I can sit there with my cup of coffee early in the morning and do what needs to be done, or just be. If everything is done, then just to be there in that peace. I really enjoy that. I wanted to thank you for being a part of this journey. Thank you for being a part of my capital life, where I am growing joy one day at a time. And I will see y'all again really, really soon. Bye.